Hey everybody, it is Vacationer Tom here again with Jon Self, and we are at SeaWorld Orlando one more time for the Seven Seas Festival. This time we're attending the Seven Seas Food Festival Media Day event thanks to Jon Self. So John, thank you sir for allowing me to be your plus one. So we're gonna go in, eat, drink, and be merry and see what they have in store. So join us for this wonderful media event adventure. All right, we are inside. They got the dancers. I think she's dancing because she's cold, not because she wants to move. John's gonna get our stuff.
Make your way inside.
Make your way inside. Let's go.
Some classic songs for you.
Let's see, what's this say?
Sing along, baby. We want you to sing along with us. Let's go dance for just for drinks, you know.
The one where dessert came first. Peach cobbler, cupcake, cheesecake, banana foster. This is the blueberry smash whiskey. It's right here. Here's, oh, they're actually singing. I didn't realize that was live music. That's cool. That's yet to come. Yeah. Oh, the sweet sour chicken. I hope that looks that good. I'm just gonna steal your light here. Here's the merc. Oh, they're cute. Yeah, that has a background. I like that they have live music though. This is the blueberry smash whiskey. Thank you, man. You don't need ice cream today.
I know, right? I had amazing ice cream.
All right, oh, spaghetti. Let's try the spaghetti. What do you guys say? All right, we got the meatballs from one booth. We got the spaghetti from the next.
Thank you so much.
Yummy, yummy. I really enjoyed the meatballs. The spaghetti, besides the meatballs, seems very bland compared to the meatballs. I would put the meatballs in the spaghetti, and then I'd have a really good dish. I swear, I'm not lying. I swear. Now, they're doing some music up my alley. Some 80s rock, let's go.
And us Floridians are not used to this kind of weather. We're all bundled up. We have winter gear. I personally have my boots with the we have an incredible lineup this year. Over 30 artists are coming out just tonight. We have Flo Rida, we have Chris Atkins, Gene Simmons, Boys to Men, Beach Boys. I don't know, there's just too many today. We're so excited. The energy is definitely contagious. We also can't forget about the big star of the show, which would of course be the food. Seven Seas Food Festival is bringing over 200 limited time offerings for the first time. We're also kicking off a brand new secret menu that's happening at our Sharks Underwater Grill. And we can't forget our new Seize the Flavor, which is, if you're all about that elevated dining experience, then you definitely have to give this a go. I also want to introduce you guys to our Vice President of Culinary. At the core of it all, this event would be a possibility if it weren't for the culinary team. Can everybody break out in a round of applause for our culinary team?
Woo! Woo, 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 woo.
With that, I leave you Amber Alloway.
Hello, good evening. No, we're afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. How we doing today?
Woo!
Oh, come on. We can do better than that. For joining us today for our lovely media day. We are here, I get to do the fun stuff where I get to hang out with our chefs and our managers who get to create and show us their passion. And then that comes to you at your food plates that you're eating. So we are super excited today. A little bit different about our festival that we're running today with our 7 Seas, just so you guys can know as you walk around to your huts. The huts today have what we're doing, rotating menus. In these rotating menus, every 30 days, there is a new item, an exciting item, a delicious item. So make sure you come often and come hungry. But without further ado, we have our Chef Frank here today.
Woo!
Yes, please give it up for Chef Frank. Chef Frank has been here for about 2 years with SeaWorld. He has been in the industry for about 45 years. And today, Chef, please tell us what you're going to demonstrate today.
Okay, before I demonstrate, I wanted to share with everybody one of the great things of SeaWorld, the autonomy of my kitchen in allowing us and my crew to do what we do best. And we have JP and Ty and Amber come into my kitchen and do like 15, 20 tastings before we accomplish this. So that autonomy is everything to us. My crew has been all part of it. It's not all me. They've all, each individually put a little piece into this, into all the huts you can see today. It's authentic food, it's classical food, it's the best in town as far as I'm concerned. Right now, I'm going to do a bolognese. We do bolognese into the red sauce. For example, we do a mirepoix, certainly, but we grind it right into the red sauce. So it's dissipated in there, you don't see it, but we do an authentic bolognese. We do keep the pork out for our guests. There's a lot of calls for no pork. Right now, I'm going to just take a little olive oil and sprinkle in my pans.
So Chef, tell me a little bit about why the Italian hut is kind of home to your heart.
Okay, so originally I am from Providence, Rhode Island, and my mother and her parents are both from Italy. So therefore, she is taught me from a young man how to make her red sauce, and I feel like it's the best. And with that background in the northeast corner of the United States, it's predominant Italian in Rhode Island, especially in Federal Hill area. That's where I'm from. It's passionate to me. So the chicken parmesan, the meatballs, the red sauce, the penne pasta with marinara you're going to see out there today, that's part of my life, and that's a big piece of my life, and that's a very passionate piece of what I do. So that's that piece.
And we've also today, if you've noticed, we've already have some of our composed dishes and sauces up here along with our pastas. And that's specifically for time. Chef, how long, if you were start to finish to make your pasta sauce, how long does it take?
So from beginning to end, you're looking at like 3 hours for it to simmer in our big tilts. We also have great tilts in POC, the building's right across the way there. They garnered me with these great tilts that I can make a lot of big sauces, a lot of big soups, and what have you. It's a 3-hour process for it, just for the red sauce alone. The great part of the red sauce is it's vegetarian. It's vegetarian based, and a lot of people like that in today's times, with all the allergies that are out there.
So today, if they're eating the penne pasta, that is going to be a vegetarian dish, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Excellent.
It is.
Now, along with this sauce, if somebody said, like me, hey, how do you cook the perfect al dente pasta? How can you tell? Can you give us some tips of the trade?
Sure. So with us, when we cook our pasta, we got to remember it's for the next day. So what we do is we cook it for around 6 minutes. Everybody has their version of al dente. Pasta, when you cook it and you shock it nice water like we do, and then we drain it, it almost cooks by itself, even in the oil that we wrap around it and put it into a bag. Then the next day we take it out and we saute it or whatever we do. But that, if you go 8-9 minutes on a pasta, and then the next day you go to cook it again, it's going to blow up on you, and it's going to look like it's overcooked. So that 6-minute window really works for us.
Excellent.
Yes.
And then, Chef, as you're getting this prepared, what's the most important part to not burning the sauce? How should we watch this?
So I think a lot of times with the red sauces and whites in our POC kitchen, I always tell the cooks, we use a wide gauge pot. use a thin pot, you put heat on it, it's going to burn that product on the bottom, and you don't want to do that. So we use a wide gauge pot, but most of my sauces, 90%, come out of the large tilts. And the tilts are very thick on the bottom, so it keeps it from burning on the bottom.
Excellent.
Another thing is, when my guys plate, for example, so we've got the red sauce, vegetarian, we've got the beef, folded into the spaghetti. We've got a little white wine in there. We've got some onion and garlic in there. And then I'm going to throw a little bit of salt and pepper because my boss over here is always complaining I don't put enough salt. So
I like salt. I can't help it. I like salt.
But, you know, going into the plate, keeping the height is very important to me. So I want to try to keep that height as much as I can without it falling flat. So I just let it go lightly like that. Take my sauce and put it over the top. Right.
Excellent.
And then
Bravo.
take a little bit of this. And try to plant it where it sits on the top and stays there. Not all over the place. It's kind of neat and solid that way.
Well, that looks pretty easy. I think I can do that for my husband. What do you think?
A little Parmesan cheese on the side. And or if you want to use microgreens of a different color, you put these on. So that's our bolognese plate. That's,
Wonderful. Thank you,
There.
Chef.
There it is. Nice and neat. It's got some height. It's got some great flavor. And we get great reviews on this right now. We really get some good reviews. People like it.
Now, what would be food without the beverage? So here we have Mr. Gerald. Gerald has been with us for 22 years. Gerald is my guru, we'll call him, of all of our beverage programs. And he is going to be showing us how to make our blueberry smash, which he has created himself. So without further ado, Gerald, take it away.
All right. How's everyone doing today?
Very good.
Okay. So I'm going to demonstrate our blueberry smash, which you are drinking currently today.
So if you like that drink out there, Gerald made it by himself.
Right.
All of them.
So you're going to start with some blueberries, a little bit of simple syrup.
And Gerald, we pre-portion this to make it easy, but
Yes.
you can use either homemade simple syrup or regular simple syrup, correct?
Correct. And then you're going to add 1.5 ounces of lemon juice or lime juice. I prefer lemon juice. And then you're going to muddle your blueberries.
And what's important about muddling where you don't get it all too much?
When you're muddling, you're incorporating and kind of infusing the blueberries into the cocktail. All right.
I like this next part. This is
Right.
my favorite.
And then everyone's favorite part, you're gonna add your favorite whiskey.
How much whiskey are we adding? 3 ounces, 85 ounces? How many should we add?
Typical recipe calls for 1.5 ounces, but I like to overpour a little bit for myself, and then I'll do 2 ounces.
Okay.
Right? And then you're gonna add some ice. And then you'll shake.
And this is a nice summer fun drink, especially with fresh blueberries. These you can really do with any sort of fruit that you really like, especially for seasonality.
And then typically you can either strain once or double strain. I personally like to only strain once because I like a little bit of the elements of the blueberries that fall into it.
Looks good.
Right? And then you just garnish with some blueberries and then a lime or a lemon.
Excellent.
And then you have the perfect blueberry smash.
Wonderful.
Woo!
Thank you, Gerald.
But that will be the end of this vlog. So I'd like to thank everyone for joining me. Until the next live stream, podcast, or vlog. Keep making memories. Salute, everybody. Thanks for watching the Vacationers Podcast YouTube channel. If you enjoy this content, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you'll be notified when new content drops. Also, swing by vacationerspodcast.com for vlogs, videos, and much more, including links to listen to our podcast, Vacationers, Theme Parks, and more. Or you can find it on your favorite podcast streamer. Would you like to know what I'm up to? Well, follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, where I post anytime I am out and about. Well, that's probably enough plugging for now. So until the next live stream, podcast, or vlog, keep making memories.